Yo, we gotta talk about this Matt Gaetz controversy and news, which some online have dubbed Pizza Gaetz. And that because Matt Gaetz has now withdrawn his name from consideration for Attorney General, with him announcing the move in a statement on X this morning, saying, "I had excellent meetings with senators yesterday. I appreciate their thoughtful feedback and the incredible support of so many." And adding, "While the momentum was strong, it is clear that my confirmation was unfairly becoming a distraction to the critical work of the Trump-Vance transition." Going on to say there is no time to waste on a needlessly protracted Washington scuffle, thus I'll be withdrawing my name from consideration to serve as Attorney General. With him then going on to say that he remains fully committed to ensuring the success of Trump's presidency and is honored to have been tapped to run the DOJ, which many see as a clear admission that Gaetz was just essentially told that he didn't have enough support from Senate Republicans to have his nomination approved, which is also something that seems to have been confirmed by sources close to both Trump and Gaetz and openly stated by at least one Republican senator. Right, and this decision comes after a whirlwind last few days for Gaetz, because while he was meeting with senators yesterday, the House Ethics Committee was discussing whether or not to release its report into allegations against Gaetz of sexual misconduct, drug use, and accepting improper gifts, with many Republicans arguing that it would be against the House rules to release the report because the Ethics Committee can only investigate sitting members. But Gaetz resigned immediately after Trump tapped him for AG. And while the panel, which is evenly split among Democrats and Republicans, was unable to reach an agreement to release the report, we've still gotten some insight into what those findings might contain. Earlier this week, for example, some pretty bombshell revelations came from the lawyer who represents two women who testified against Gaetz, with that attorney, Joel Leppard, confirming that both his clients told the House panel that Gaetz paid them for sex on multiple occasions. And also, one of those women told lawmakers she personally saw him having sex with a minor.
She testified in July of 2017 at this house party. She was walking out to the pool area and she looked to her right and she saw Representative Gaetz having sex with her friend who was 17.
With Leppard going on to say that his client testified that her understanding was that Gaetz didn't know that the girl was a minor when he had sex with her. Well, she said he initially broke things off when he learned that she was underage. He restarted a sexual relationship with the girl when she turned 18. So, right there, we're looking at allegations of having sex with a minor and paying for sex in violation of Florida prostitution law. But also, that's not it, because Leppard also said that his clients attended multiple drug-fueled sex parties where Gaetz paid them for sex, but there were other occasions as well.
Well, not all of them were parties. So some of them were events, such as they attended election events, like at hotels. They went with him to New York for a taping on Fox News, but approximately perhaps 10 times, 10 to 15 times.
Their testimony is that Representative Gaetz took them across state lines for the purpose of having sex and paid them for that.
That's correct.
Right, and that ends up being notable because if those claims are true, that would be a violation of federal sex trafficking laws. Now with this, Gaetz, for his part, has denied the allegations, which a spokesperson called baseless. But that also wasn't the only intel we got on what the Ethics Committee had heard, because it was also reported yesterday that sources familiar with the investigation said that the ethics panel had obtained records showing that Gaetz paid more than $10,000 to two women who testified before the members, with one source adding that the two women testified that some of those payments were for sex. And those claims have also been bolstered by documents obtained by the New York Times, which also appear to confirm that those two women had received payments from Gaetz. And then on top of all that, today, right before Gaetz announced that he was withdrawing his bid for AG, you had CNN reporting that the woman who claimed she had sex with Gaetz as a minor told the House Ethics Committee she had 2 sexual encounters with him at one party in 2017, according to sources familiar with her testimony. With the outlet reporting that the woman who was 17 at the time testified that the previously unreported second encounter included another adult woman. Though this, as multiple sources said that the other woman denied participating in the encounter. But all that messiness and the moving parts aside, right, there's a big question now of, well, what happens next? First of all, who is Trump going to tap to lead the DOJ now that Gaetz is out? Also, there's a big question now with Gaetz's withdrawal and all this kind of stuff that has happened. Does it change Trump and the people around him's mindset of who they're going to nominate? With, for example, the Associated Press explaining that this is a major setback to Trump's efforts to install loyalists because it shows he's already facing resistance from his own party. Also, there's the question of, well, what is Gaetz going to do next? Because he made the very unusual move of resigning from Congress immediately after Trump announced his nomination, which, as we talked about in the past, was very unusual because people in office usually don't leave their current positions until they're confirmed, in case what happened here happened. Well, some have speculated whether he might reconsider his resignation. Others have noted that the resignation letter he submitted to the House said that he didn't intend to return for the next session of Congress. So while his intentions may have changed, it's unclear right now if that letter is binding or if it could complicate an attempt to return. And then also, if he returned, he would be considered a sitting member of Congress again, meaning that he would be under the jurisdiction of the Ethics Committee again, who could then potentially justify releasing its report on it. But yeah, we'll see what happens with this whole mess soon enough. And I think I'm just gonna start every morning by tweeting, Dang, that's crazy. Because it genuinely feels like it's gonna be applicable to every single day from here on out. Like, just to switch gears into my mindset around everything right now, am I alone in that I've kind of just woken up every morning and like before I see the news, and then when I see the news, I just go, yeah, sure, fuck it, why not? Why is that not the news? Of course it is. Like, I just feel over everything. Like, there is a part of me that is genuinely shocked this Gaetz thing has been shut down. Because based off of the specific numbers and everything that we've been seeing, it feels like the closest thing to a guardrail that's in place is a singular rubber band. Anyway, who do you think that he's gonna nominate next for AG? I've seen a lot of people joke Judge Judy, but I genuinely think there's a non-zero chance it's Jeanine Pirro. Yeah, actually, you know what? That's so stupid, it's happening. I'm calling the shot before the pitch. Hey, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this clip from the full Philip DeFranco show. And also, a big thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring our Clips channel. Turn your passion into profit over at squarespace.com/Phil, or use the QR code. Because whether you're launching a business or a lucrative side hustle, your website is your digital business card. It's the only space where you control the story, no algorithms or distractions. And with Squarespace, it's so easy because they got a ton of stunning professional templates with drag and drop editing that makes site design incredibly simple, no coding required. So get started for free at squarespace.com/Phil, or scan the QR code on screen and use code Phil for 10% off when ready to launch. Squarespace.com/Phil.